with reports leading to the fact that the Cavaliers are willing to listen to any kind of trade talk this offseason. There's one Western Conference team who set their eye out to the Cleveland Cavaliers starting point guard looking to make a trade. Who should the Cavaliers try to get if this trade is in the talks? And can they even do it? And will it even be worth it? I'm Matt Blangy here at Cavs Digest. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Who is interested in the Cleveland Cavaliers starting point guard? And what can we get for this Darius Garland? For what can we get for Darius Garland? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because keeping up with everything that happened in the offseason, especially with now that the NBA Finals are looking like they can come to a close soon, with the Pacers very, very close to going up 3-1. If the Thunder don't come back, of course. I'm recording this when the Pacers are up 7. But anyways, it's so hard to keep up with everything that happens in the offseason, so I really recommend you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything. It's so hard to keep up with. There's so many rumors, minor talks, potential like trade proposals that get made, even fun stuff, or anything that happens with the organization as a whole outside of the players. We cover literally everything here at Cavs Digest, so you should go join the community. We've gained over 150 subs in the last month or so I appreciate you guys all for that, especially because I am newer to this channel. Billy has grown this channel from 0 to 2,000 by himself, and I appreciate the support you guys have given me since I've joined, and of course the Billy's videos, they're always phenomenal. So thank you guys so much. But let's kind of talk about what is going on with the Cavs and who reached out to them. We'll start off by talking about the report itself. Grant Avseth of RG.org reported on Tuesday that the Sacramento Kings have identified Cleveland Cavaliers point guard Darius Garland as a trade target as they seek to address the team's vacancy at lead guard this offseason. Multiple league sources told RG. That's a big clue. This isn't just one guy trying to put fuel to the fire. This is multiple league sources that are really, really looking like the Kings have said they want to try to get Darius Garland. And of course, they lost De'Aaron Fox, who was their young, uprising point guard, all-star level player, to the San Antonio Spurs at the trade deadline. So now they have an idea of a guy they're trying to take from the Cavs. So can the Cavs get some value out of this? Well, for me, personally, I say no, unless there's one guy, and we'll talk about that later. But let's kind of talk about Darius Garland and what the Kings gain out of him, what the Cavaliers lose out of him. So Darius Garland's coming off of his best season. He showed a lot of just straight-up talent completely. The ability to score from all three levels. Had the best hesitation move in the league, honestly. If you look at it, he was just phenomenal at the hesitation move. Look at him cooking the defenders with this move. Darius Garland put on a show on the offensive side, specifically is what we'll say. The offensive side. He had his best year on the offensive side, was shooting great from three, shooting great from the field, was able to play make at a pretty efficient level. So shout out to Darius Garland for his phenomenal regular season, of course, that he had this year. It was his best year of all. It was his best year. He's one of the clutchest players in the league as well. Might win the clutch player of the year. Well, I doubt they'll give it to him because of his playoff performances and his injury. But if you look at his clutch statistics, they were absolutely phenomenal. So shout out to Darius Garland for all that. So the Kings gained that offensive point guard that they were looking for. With De'Aaron Fox, they had it. They had a guy that was super, super quick, able to score, improved his jump shot, and were able to pass. This guy fits their roster very, very well. But for me personally, there was only one guy that I would like for the Cavs to get if they can possibly get him. But I don't believe it's going to happen. I've hinted at him with 2 videos. You saw him. But we'll talk about the report itself, what they had to say about this player. Any deal in which the Cavaliers are giving up Garland still has to make them a better team unless the Kings are willing to give up Domantas Sabonis in a DG deal. And it's hard to see what the Kings could give up to make that happen for Cleveland. Still, it'll be interesting to see if the Kings continue to emerge in trade rumors for Garland as the offseason continues. So, of course, we've made videos about how the Cavs are willing to listen about any trade talk. Like they're having an open-minded approach to this offseason. And that's a big thing to note. For me personally, Domantas Sabonis is the only option for the Cavaliers to get. If you look at the Kings roster, it's really, really lackluster. And Domantas Sabonis is a phenomenal player. Not only is he someone that adds in a big need, he can stretch the floor. Like, the backup big has been the biggest need for the Cavaliers. And, of course, this guy would be a starting level player. So what happens with Jarrett Allen? If you do receive Domantas Sabonis, he probably also leaves. And that's the biggest thing, is that the Cavs can get Darius Garland. But I doubt they want to get rid of this guy, considering that this is their literal best player. I mean, look at his statistics. This guy's a beast. Just under 20 points per game. Just under 14 rebounds a game at 6'10". He averages 6 assists per game. He is able to control the offense in the low post, and he can stretch the floor. He shot 41% from 3 and 59% from the field. Super efficient, isn't going to shoot brick, and is a phenomenal off-the-catch shooter. That's the biggest thing. He controls the offense from the post. When he passes out, he can also pop. He was also one of the clutchest shooters in the NBA. Shot just under 50% from the three-point line in the fourth quarter and overtime. Here it is. Domantas Sabonis, stretch, bang. he was so clutch, and just from the three-point line, when he was like, he hit a lot of his clutch shots or a lot of his three-pointers in the fourth quarter overtime. I believe he was 11 for 23, 11 for 24, around that range in situations that, it matters, the fourth quarter and overtime. So shout out to Domantas Sabonis for being able to stretch the floor, but also being very clutch. Of course, Darius Garland was clutch as well. But this guy's an absolute baller, and I love what Domantas Sabonis can bring. The biggest problem is the Kings would have to be trading their best player just to get Darius Garland. But for me, I think it's weird to say this, but it's more likely you win with Darius Garland as your best player and Domantas Sabonis as your best player. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong though. It's hard. Actually, they're like, I would say neither for both. But if you do trade Domantas Sabonis, you have to build really, really well around Darius Garland. For the Cavs, they have a good core to where if you lose Darius Garland, you definitely win that trade. And that's the biggest thing about that report that I showed earlier, that any deal would have to make the Cavaliers better. And the only thing that makes the Cavaliers better is Domantas Sabonis. But Domantas Sabonis expressed his thoughts about remaining with the team. I'll show that here in a second and get my thoughts about it.
Your future, it's been widely reported that you want to know some answers, the direction goes within this organization. What factors are you thinking about and considering when you're asking about being in Sacramento long term?
First of all, I want to say I love it here. I want to stay here. I want to here. I also do want to know what's going to happen. All these things are happening so quick. Together with the new people, whoever comes in, and really try to get this right, and get it back.
So Domantas Sabonis expressed his loyalty to the Kings. He is their best player, and he wants to try to be that guy for them, like how Halliburton is for the Pacers right now, of course. But Domantas Sabonis showing off the fact that he does love the city. But can I be honest with you guys? I don't know how much that matters. I feel like if I was an NBA player, I would try to act like I'm loyal. But let's be honest here. If he wants to try to win with the Kings, that's just not going to happen unless they build a phenomenal team, and he's, one of their, like the Evan Mobley of the Cavs, like second or third option to score the ball. Domantas Sabonis should not be your best player. And even though he can say that, I feel like any player can just say that to defend their organization. But anyways, let's continue talking about the Domantas Sabonis, of course. I showed this video, but I want to show it again. Like, this guy can stretch the floor even when he's not facilitating offense. I mean, he makes this pass first. He passes to DeRozan and then pops out immediately. Give and go, pick and pop. You can run so much with this guy. And that's what I love about the Domantas Sabonis. He brings this value that the Cavaliers haven't had, a stretch big who can rebound at a highly efficient level. Jarrett Allen can rebound, don't get me wrong, but he's not a Domantas Sabonis rebounder. So the biggest thing here to note, if the Cavaliers were to get rid of Darius Garland for somebody on the Kings, it would have to be Domantas Sabonis. And I'm assuming if you get Domantas Sabonis, him and Evan Mobley will be the front court. You either use Jarrett Allen as a backup big, which, by the way, would probably be pretty cool, or you trade Jarrett Allen. So there's a lot of options you can do if you do this. But if the Kings are not willing to offer you Domantas Sabonis, you have to say no. I promise you have to say no. You do not get better in any circumstance. I know they have some solid players around there, but they don't have enough. We do not want DeMar DeRozan. I know that was like something that looked like it could have been possible. We do not want a guy that plays like DeRozan because it's just not going to happen in today's NBA. I love DeRozan, love what he's done in the NBA, but it's just not good enough at this level. Domantas Sabonis is the only option, and I don't even think the Cavaliers could get him. But we'll see what the Kings try to give up. If they pull the trigger saying we want Darius Garland that bad, and they give us a bonus, I would be fine with it. Let me know what you guys think. It's so good to see the community continue growing. I'm Matt playing to your Cavs Digest. Thank you guys for joining me. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. And, of course, thank you guys for joining me.